Welcome to Goofy Getaways with your hosts, Amy Blades and Amy Fisher.
Hello, and welcome to the Goofy Getaways podcast. I am Amy Blades, owner and CEO of Goofy Getaways Travel Agency, and I'm so excited that you are here. I'm with my counterpart today, who I will introduce herself.
I'm the other Amy. I'm Amy Fisher. I'm our Vice President of Communication and Development here at the agency. I'm also a travel consultant with our agency. We at Goofy Getaways are a travel agency that loves to help you book your magical vacation to any destination. But today we're going to be specifically talking to you a little bit about Universal and specifically Universal Orlando destinations. And with that, we want you to know we are a U-Preferred agency. That means that all of our agents stay up to date on very specific trainings and requirements so that we know all the ins and outs of what's happening at the Universal Park so that we can help you and your family have the best Universal vacation possible. And so today we want to talk to you specifically about something at Universal Orlando that Amy Blades and I have experienced that
wasn't too long ago we did this.
Yeah. But here's the fun little note for you. We're not so much all in on this one. So we want to be very honest with you and share our experience and what the pros and cons are. When you're saying this, Amy, it just came to my mind too. Remember that you have to remember it is a Loews resort. So this is more of a Loews, I don't want to say issue, but hopefully they're listening because I think hopefully we can give some tips if we're comparing to other club levels in the area. So with this, what we're going to be talking about is staying club level at Universal. And something that we do want to note is that Universal is partnered with Loews for their hotels in the Orlando area. So when we're talking about this, the hotels are actually run not necessarily by Universal destinations. They're run by Loews. And so we just want to share what our experience is. We've shared in the past what the other destination does for their club level. So we felt that it was very appropriate to share what happens down the road over here at Universal with you all, and give you, again, our very honest opinions. There were things that we liked and there were things that we think that maybe they could do better, or if it is something that you want to do, we want to at least help set your expectations for what the experience would be. Is that fair to say, Amy?
I think it's fair because there's definitely club level that I personally would prefer over another. And, I've experienced with two. We have other agents that between all of us, we've experienced them. So I think that's fair. I don't want to completely throw the gauntlet down on it, but we'll kind of get to the details of it. But for me, it came in a little underwhelming.
Yeah. So let's kick it off by talking about, so again, we're talking about Universal Orlando Resort. So the one in Orlando, Florida, they have, by the time you listen to this podcast episode, they have, I believe, 10 or 11 hotels that will be open because the 3 new hotels that are over by Epic Universe will also be open by this point in time. And Universal has kind of different tiers for their hotels like most travel destinations do. And within these, again, are run by Loews. And so when you think about the tiers of the hotels, when you're thinking about club level specifically, club level is going to happen at what is classified as a signature resort. So there are 4 signature resorts. They are the brand new Helios Grand Hotel that is over at the entrance of Epic Universe. There is also Loews Royal Pacific Hotel, Loews Portofino Bay Hotel, and then the Hard Rock Hotel. So those are the 4 hotels that are officially the signature hotels. And all 4 of them do have options for club level rooms. So it gives you this opportunity. We'll talk more about what club level means in just a moment. But those are the official hotels at Universal Orlando that you could book a club level room. So, Amy, what are some of the things that are included with club level. What does that?
Yeah, so
what
the
does that
lounge
mean?
club level means obviously, I mean, you do get a different check-in space that you can go check in, so you don't have to wait in like that, the longer line. And then they take you right to your room. I think the biggest thing is the lounge that they have. So you do have beverages, water, pop, soda, whatever you call it, tea, coffee, snacks. They had like some sandwiches. So for me, the biggest thing is being able to go into the lounge and just kind of lounge if you want to. It's a large space. So if you just kind of want to chill out from a hot day and you don't want to just go sit in your room, it's a great place to work. Amy and I both took some time, took our computers and got some work done while we were there. Mary, is there anything you think that I'm missing? Because you don't get like anything different like with transportation or anything. Pretty much it's a place to have some snacks and cool down, and it's a nice space, large space.
And so they'll serve like kind of a light breakfast in the earlier morning hours. So before you head to the parks, it's great. It's really nice that you don't have to worry about. I will say that in general at Universal, it can be, in my opinion, sometimes a little bit harder to find like a good, quick, easy spot to grab breakfast if you're trying to do early entry at the parks. What I love about staying club level there is that you'll be able to get into the lounge, grab your breakfast, get something,
and that's something
good
they did
in your belly.
And I think we both agreed. Yeah,
Yep.
I think we both agreed that the breakfast was done well. Yeah.
Yep. So breakfast is done very well. And again, the hours of it are good so that if you want to take advantage of early entry, you can do that. Breakfast, I think, goes until like 9 or 10. This can vary by lounge. So please always make sure that you check like that specific lounge on that date. They'll be able to tell you when you're staying there what your hours are. But it was very nice that it was like, great, if you want to get up and do early entry because you're a resort guest, so you can get in early to the parks and take advantage of that time. That's
Which
awesome.
I'm definitely
that you can,
like a on-property girl. I think you're going to stay, I feel like that. Yeah, definitely. That early makes a huge difference. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I'm going to hold that thought for a second. But yes, so it's very easy to stay early entry. You can do the breakfast before you head to the parks. Or again, if you want a little bit more of a relaxed morning, eat your breakfast, head there. Then during the middle of the day, there'll be some light snacks. You can grab things like, cans of soda or, juice, fruit, bags of chips, that kind of stuff. So those are available almost all day. And then in the evening, they'll do like a light hors d'oeuvre type of a...
Yeah, that was the thing that I felt like kind of fell short on for me. I expected more in for the evening for sure.
And they have like an hors d'oeuvre time and then a dessert time. And it's it's to me, the window of it has always felt very short. So I've done it a couple different times, both at the same resort. So I've done it at Loews Portofino Bay, to be very transparent with you. And both times I just felt like the window was very short. So if you're in the parks in that time, it's really hard to it's easy to get back and forth on property, but it felt like the window was so short that it made it hard to get back and take advantage of that dinner time. The other thing that I'm going to note for you all is if you are interested in alcohol or adult beverages as part of your club level stay, it is not all day. It is only during a specific window of hours typically. And again, that window it's in the evening and it just tends to feel a little short to me. Like if you're at the resort and you're just lounging and hanging out, it's fine, right? It's very prime time because it was like 5 to 7 or something like that was hors d'oeuvres, and then 7 to 9 or 8:30 was dessert. I think it was like 7 to 8:30 was dessert. So for me, the hard part was that if you're closing the park at 9 o'clock and you come back, the lounge is already closed by the time you get back to your hotel, which I didn't love that piece of.
Yeah. And I think the other thing, just because we are super transparent, so the experience at the Hard Rock was different. I will say the Hard Rock I liked better. I even felt like the food was better. One of the things to note, and it's something that I have mentioned, not like my opinion's going to matter, but one thing that was a little frustrating is that when you check in, you can't get into the lounge until the afternoon, actual check-in time, which if you're someone that's flying in and you could only get a flight at a certain time and you end up getting there at noon and you're paying a lot of money for club level, you should be able, in my opinion, to go use that club level that day that you are checking in, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to use it the day that you're leaving. And just because I think you do have to compare, because if you compare to other club levels, especially like at Disney, that I love that when you get there, if you're early, they'll take your bags for you. They'll tell you to go have a snack, lounge, use their the lounge for outlets if you need it, whatever it is that you need. So that's just something to mention too, that if you are someone that's taking an early flight and you're thinking that you're going to get to be able to use the lounge as soon as you check in, that is not necessarily the case. So,
and I to stay with that conversation. So, myself and one of our other travel agents were visiting Universal Orlando a couple of years ago, maybe like a year and a half ago now.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to experience club level. And so what we did is we actually booked a split stay. So we were staying at one Universal hotel for a couple of nights. And then our very last night, we were like, let's go stay club level at Portofino Bay. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, because we wanted to take advantage of early entry, we transported from one hotel over to Portofino Bay, went to go get checked in. We knew that we were going to have to leave our bags before we headed, because we wanted to go head to the parks and all of this. And we were very disappointed to find out that, because we had anticipated being able to eat breakfast in the club level lounge that morning. That was not the case. Thank goodness for Starbucks on property that we were able to, grab some breakfast there. But that was very disappointing for us on that end. And then we both had later evening flights the next day. And the same thing happened, that we had to exit the lounge by noon, even though we weren't flying. Like, we really wanted to kind of sit in the lounge for the afternoon until I think we were going to leave for the airport at like 3 or 4. And so the fact that we had to leave at noon, for us, that was disappointing. Again, when you're paying that price tag for club level, and again, when you can do that over at Disney, I'm not trying to sit there and compare them all the time, but at the same time, we just want to be very transparent with all of our listeners. Right, that this is what you need to be prepared for. I do think the staff was kind in the club level lounge. I don't think I had the same interactions with them that I do at other, when I'm at Disney, they come up and want to talk to you and like, how's your day going? What do you need? Can I get you anything?
It doesn't feel like it's a job to me for them when we're there. I mean, it is their job, but I don't feel like it's their job. Yeah. Where I felt like that was their job, that they were just there to do a job. To me, it felt like at
Loews, they were just there to restock and to make sure that whoever was coming in was just part of the club level. So they do check your room key as you come in. They're going to verify that the people in your party are actually people who are staying with you in your room, which I appreciate, right? If you're paying for that extra service, we don't want just anyone walking in either. But at the same time, it was like, that just seems like the staff is polite and kind, but they don't necessarily go out of their way to make anything additionally magical. And that's not necessarily their job in this scenario. We're just again, trying to help set expectations.
For sure.
Of, what is a part of it and what is not. So again, we said, right, Amy has stayed at Hard Rock and Portofino Bay. I've done Portofino Bay. You can also technically do it at Royal Pacific. And then
we
it
have
would be
agent Michelle and Allie stayed there, I think, at Royal Pacific. And I think kind of the same thing. Same thoughts, I think. Yeah.
Yep. I have heard that the food at Royal Pacific was better than it was at
and Hard Rock
Bay.
too. So, and maybe we just got a weird weekend. There was construction going on, and I would go again. I would definitely go again and try again and just see if it's a different experience than what we had for sure.
And I have every intention I would like to try it at each of those hotels, because I like staying at those hotels anyway. Royal Pacific is my personal favorite hotel on Universal Orlando property anyway. So I really want to try club level there. I'm very excited at some point to try it at the new Helios hotel. That hotel looks so beautiful. But that's an amazing, I think those hotels are beautiful. The service that you get, the size rooms that you get, is great. And we should also talk about really briefly. So we mentioned that there are 4 of these hotels. So their 4 signature hotels, 3 out of the 4 include unlimited express passes to Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure. Note that we did not say express passes to Epic. It does not. None of the hotels include express pass to Epic at this point in time. Maybe that will change down the line, but at this point in time, that is not the case. However, if you were to stay at Portofino Bay, Royal Pacific, or the Hard Rock Hotel, you do get complimentary unlimited express passes for the people in your party to be able to use at Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida. They are also all in very easy walking distance to those parks, and they have water taxis to those parks. So when we were talking about, the ease of staying on property at Universal Orlando, like that is a huge, huge benefit of those hotels as well. So even if you're not staying club level, those hotels are an excellent choice.
I think so too. I mean, that's where I feel like you get a really good bang for your buck is for the express pass for sure. What do you think, Amy, like when we're talking about, in like your mind, who do you think club level, who benefits from that? Because I would even say, I think families for sure, especially if you have littles, you can go in and get them snacks. And if they want to kind of run around for a minute, there's a lot of space in there to do that.
Yep.
That
especially if you're going with like a party with multiple rooms, right? So you each have your own hotel room, but there's not a good like joint space to hang out together. But the lounge is a really good space. Like, let's all sit and have breakfast together in the lounge, and then we're going to head to the parks. So I think that that's a good option. I will say, I also think club level at Universal is definitely for people that you're not going to be in the park from sunup to sundown. We just talked about how easy it is to get back and forth from the parks to the hotels. Take a break in the middle of the day, friends. And so people who are going to like enjoy the pools, if they're going to go hang out at Volcano Bay and do that for a little while during the day and then come back and enjoy dinner at their hotel. So, if you're just there for 1 day or 2 days, club level might not be a great option. But if you're there for like a full vacation, which is really what you should do if you want a good Universal vacation, club level can be a really good option, again, especially for families, because you don't have to worry about trying to figure out breakfast for everyone in the morning. You can for sure do dinner. You can take snacks with you, put them in your bag and take them into the parks to eat while you're there. So that's just really, really nice. I think we've mentioned this before, but when we do it, we'll take our beverages and extra snacks, and if the lounge is going to be closed when we get back from the park, we make sure that we've got snacks. So we have our snacks,
our nighttime snacks.
So we just grab them earlier in the day and make sure that they're there, so we can still have our snacks at night. Because you're probably going to be dehydrated by the time
especially
you get back
from the
to your
heat,
room.
right? For sure, especially with the heat. But
absolutely. Do you think there's anyone else that would benefit from it? Or anything you would add about those guests?
Because I said families like with younger kids too, but even like your teenagers, and even like when Chuck and I travel, we like to stay club level just for the convenience. It's, just having the space, having the snacks. You don't have to, worry as much about trying to grab something at the park. That it really kind of is for anybody, but I would absolutely, if I were to pick one, it would be for families for sure. And we see a lot of families in there too. Yeah.
We do. Yeah. So we think that overall club level is a good experience.
Yeah.
Again, we wanted to be very honest with you all of like what our thoughts and opinions were about the pros and the cons of it. So I think for us, we really appreciate like what is technically offered in it. We wish that the hours were a little bit better.
Hours,
kind of like,
that's the biggest thing for me. We like the hours in general, like the hours all together. Like I think when you check in, if you're early, you should be able to stay. If you check out and your flight doesn't leave till later. So yeah, hours in general, and maybe just a little. I'm not asking for a huge buffet, but just a little more to choose from in the appetizer time, the nighttime.
Yeah, during the evening hors d'oeuvres time.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. So I think those are kind of our big takeaways from club level, which is going to lead us into what, Amy, our all-in.
Our all-in.
But here's what we're going to do is instead of saying like which club level, we're all in about, remember the 4 signature resorts, right? So we have Helios, we have Portofino Bay, we have Royal Pacific, and we have Hard Rock. So those are the 4 signature hotels. Out of those 4 hotels, which one are you all in about? Like if if you're going to stay time and time again at that hotel, which one is it?
Well, I would say Hard Rock, but Helios we haven't been in yet, and it looks incredible. So that's what I'm going to say. I can't wait to try that. That's where I think I'm going to want to stay. So that's what I'm going to be all in on. I know it sounds silly, but with the research, the videos, the tours, like things that we've seen, hands down, that's where I want to go.
It looks so, so beautiful. Truthfully, friends, by the time this podcast episode goes live, we will have stayed at Helios.
You're right. You're right.
So be sure to be checking out our social media platforms. You will be able to see some of our thoughts. And I'm sure we'll record a podcast episode about what we thought of Helios as well. But I love that. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to stay strong and true with Royal Pacific. That is my favorite one. I love the vibes there. To me, it feels like I'm on vacation.
I would agree with that.
It's very quiet. It's very peaceful. It's very pretty. It's close enough to the parks that it's so easy to go back and forth. Like it takes me 10 minutes to get from the front gate back to the hotel. I just love that. But at the same time, it feels, to me, Hard Rock feels a little bit loud. They're playing music, which is great. Like, it's a really fun vibe there. That's not my style when I'm on vacation. So I'm like, I love how peaceful Royal Pacific is. I just think it's so beautiful. So if I can stay time and time again,
that's where you'd stay.
That's where I'm going. So
For sure.
I love it there.
We'll have to stay and report back to you.
We'll
but I think I'm all in on club level. I mean, you guys probably already know that, but I just love the extras that you get. For sure.
And I will say, I think we would both probably agree, if you're sitting there and trying to decide whether you want to stay club level or do a VIP tour.
I was going to say this.
I would say a VIP tour
100%
is probably a better use.
I would agree.
If you haven't checked out our podcast episode about VIP tours at Universal Orlando, we're both 100% in on those. Club level is great, like we said, but a VIP tour, 10 out of 10.
I agree.
No one does a VIP tour like Universal Orlando.
Absolutely agree. I agree.
Best of the best there.
At least, with us, you guys, we give you the real deal. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're just going to tell you what we think. And someone else might think different, but we just like to be honest with you about the things that we really liked and the things that we didn't. But it wasn't that we didn't like it enough that we wouldn't do it again, for sure. So, and I did give some feedback in the survey. So I'm not saying anything that I didn't mention before. So if you would like to get to a club level room, if you'd like to get a VIP tour, if you'd like to go to Universal Studios, if you'd like to go Islands of Adventure, Epic, you name it, we can get you there. So we are a fee-free travel agency when you book package with us. Just a reminder, www.goofygetaways.com is where you can find us and all of our information. If you're looking for someone to help you plan a special trip, I guarantee you that we have somebody that will be perfect for you. So reach out and we'll connect you with one of our travel consultants for sure. You can also catch us at our social media platforms. So we do have Facebook and we do have Instagram. And we also have a newsletter that goes out every month. So if you're interested in possibly wanting to get the newsletter, you can sign up on our website. And I promise you, we're not going to spam you and all that crazy stuff. It's just a really nice piece of information, to be completely honest, with everything going on Disney, Universal, all-inclusive, you name it, we do it, we book it. So is there anything that I missed on any of that, or anything you want to add before we take off today?
Be sure to like, save, share the podcast episode. Let us know what topics that you want to hear about. Or, hey, if you want to tell us in the comments and you've stayed club level, what was your experience like? We would love to hear from you as well, right? We know, obviously, we're here sharing our opinions and we're just going to be full on honest with you, but we want to hear your thoughts and opinions as well. And so again, if there's other topics that you want to hear down the line, please let us know, because we would be happy to talk about those episodes and that information with you. But we're just so grateful that you're here and hopefully enjoying our podcast episodes.
Yeah, we're trying to give you an assortment of a little bit of everything. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you come back for our next podcast. I think that's it for today. So until we see you again, we will see ya
real soon.
If you liked today's episode of the Goofy Getaways podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to follow Goofy Getaways on social media so we can lead you to the magic.